A Kitchen Witch's Grimoire, homemade tomato soup. Alright, so this week on Patreon, everyone voted for a soup, and you know what? I've really been wanting to try homemade tomato soup from scratch. When my mom would make tomato soup as a kid, she would always use that Campbell's soup stuff, and it was always like too acidic for me, it would burn my throat. So I thought maybe I could make tomato soup a little less acidic, or at least less acidic in a way that like hurts. And so I got one red bell pepper on the fire to roast the skin off, and then I'm dicing an onion and peeling up a bunch of garlic cloves. As that pepper chars, you're going to want to turn it around a little bit, make sure each side gets charred nicely, and then you can just take off the skins once they cool off. This not only softens the pepper beforehand, but it also gives it a lot of extra flavor. And then everything else is as simple as just dumping all your ingredients into a big glass dish. And I mean just dumping it. You don't even have to cut the tomatoes, you don't have to mince the garlic, you don't have to do nothing. Then drizzle it all with olive oil, get some salt and pepper on it, and stick it in the oven at 375 for an entire hour. This is going to make it so that everything gets nice and roasted, soft, and easy to kind of blend up into a soup. And of course it is an entire hour, so in the meantime while you're, getting things ready, you can maybe wash some dishes, get your kitchen cleaned up, or we could talk about the magic. Now tomatoes, being the bright red little fruits that they are actually really good for love magic. Even though my Oma hated ketchup, she would always eat a tomato with just a little bit of salt sprinkled on top as if it were actually an apple. But combine that tomato with these spices here and you can actually get a very strong feeling of love, joy, protection, purification. The kind of love that makes you and your family feel good, which is what you want. And once an hour is up, you're going to take everything out of the oven and you've got these beautifully roasted vegetables here. You can also say they let out a lot of water, which is great because now we're going to blend it up. You can use an immersion blender, but all I've got here is this NutriBullet, so that's what I was going with. And once it's in the pot, add a chicken bouillon and 2 cups of water. And then we're going to be able to get all our spices in. And did you know that bay leaves are actually really good for cutting acidity? That's why I included these in this pot. And one of the recipes I was looking at said to use just basil, but I felt that would be like not quite enough flavor, so I added these 3 herbs instead. A fair warning, it is tomato soup, and if you put these herbs in, it is going to taste a little something like tomato sauce, like for spaghetti, but that's actually where the Greek yogurt really helps. And I heard that mayonnaise instead of butter on a grilled cheese makes it taste better, and you know what? They weren't wrong. Like, not at all. The mayonnaise instead of butter adds this extra layer of flavor that I can't really describe, but it was absolutely delicious. And I do not want to hear anyone fighting me about putting ham on my grilled cheese. I love ham on my grilled cheese. I don't care what that actually makes it, what it's called. It is what it is, and it's delicious. Which to me makes this more of like a lunch meal than a dinner. You could have it either way, but where sandwich is involved, that's a lunch to me. I don't know. But grilled cheese is simple. You do whatever you like. You put any kind of cheese on it, any kind of other condiments on it, and you just grill it until both sides are golden brown. The combination of tomato soup and grilled cheese is a classic for a reason. They both just make each other taste a bit better, and it's kind of crazy. I probably could have let this one go a little bit longer, to be honest. I could have let it cook a little bit more. I'm not afraid of it getting like too dark or anything, but the cheese pull was still pretty good. And now with the Greek yogurt, I wouldn't put it in the whole pot. I would put it in your individual bowl because everyone might like a different level of sour and cream to their soup. In fact, you could also actually use regular sour cream or any other kind of dairy. But this combination together was absolutely delicious, so I hope you enjoy.